this tutorial, I'll show you how to make simple teleport doors so that when a player touches it, they will be teleported to another location. And I'll also show you how to make them lockable so that you can prevent players from going through them. So in Unity, I've got a basic scene set up here. Got two walls, and you can kind of tell the difference between them based off the lighting here, but there's no doors. So let's go ahead and make those. First thing I'm going to do, create a new game object, set the position, I'm going to move it over to the wall here, and take note of the Z direction, as that is the direction I'm going to make sure is the front of the door. So I'm going to rename this to door. Inside that, I'm going to create a new object, make it a cube, move it up some. I'm going to set the Z to 0.1 and the Y to 2. And then just to differentiate it, change the color. Next, inside the collider here, I'm going to 1, make it a trigger, and 2, I'm going to move it forward by 0.5. This is already scaled by this Z here, so all I'm doing is just moving it so it's easier for the players to actually hit this collider. Next, let's add the action, so type in VRC triggered, add that component, and then inside here, do on enter trigger, click add, click the advanced one, click on always buffer, and set it to local. Inside here for layers, make sure to hit it to player local. And then for action, basic event, teleport player. You can add one now, but we don't have it set up yet. Basically, what is going to happen is when the player, you, hits this door, it's locally going to teleport only you to whatever this object is, which we haven't created yet. So while we don't have another door to teleport to, we can create the teleport point for this door. So on here, create a new game object. I'm going to call it spawn, and I'm going to move it forward by 1 unit. That way it's far enough away from the door so that you don't teleport back and forth when you teleport. Yeah. One last thing here, let's create another game object. This is going to be what I'm going to use as the blocker to lock a door. And so move it up 1, rename it to block, if I can spell that correctly. Inside add component, do box collider. It's pretty big, but I'm going to now set it to whatever the door's size was, or just the trigger of the door. I'm going to add it so that it's 0.2 around that. So then make this 0.3. So it's just blocking it. And then for the Y, 2.2. And then for the X, 1.2. So it's just blocking the trigger that surrounds the door. If we really want to, we can make this more accurate so that it's make sure that nobody can ever enter it. And then I'm going to turn it off because I want people to be able to use it. So that's pretty much all that's needed for the door, or at least one door. But let's duplicate it and make the second door. So Control D to duplicate, move it over here, rotate it 180 so it's facing the proper direction. And now we have 2 doors. But we have to set the spawn. So I'm going to click on the first cube, which our trigger is at. Going to teleport player, select the spawn of the second one and drag that in here. You can see the line. And then go into the second door, teleport player, drag the first spawn in, and now it goes back and forth. As of right now, we have doors that are always unlocked. So let's add a button to lock it. First thing I'm going to do for this, create a new game object. I'm going to call this button, and then reset, and then let's move it over here. Inside that, create a new cube. Just gonna make it smaller as usual, and then inside that, add a VRC trigger. For this, let's add on interact, and I'm going to call this lock door. Inside the actions here, I'll go and add a new one. I'm going to set game object active. To add 2 of them, and then drag the blocks from the door. And then here, I'm going to set them to true so that they will be active and block players from entering our teleport trigger. So one thing with this is that I'm going to explicitly set it to true. In my last tutorial, I set with toggle, and with toggle, you can have the issues where it'll desync from players because you need 2 pieces for toggle, but always buffer 1 only buffers 1. So because of that, I'm setting them explicitly to true, but we'll need a way to turn off the doors. So what I'm going to do is go up here, make sure this is actually called lock door. I'm going to duplicate it and then call this new one unlock door. and change the text on the trigger as well. And set this to false, so that it'll turn off the blocks. But as of right now, they're kind of unrelated to each other, and they're both in the exact position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it so that when you click lock door, it'll turn lock door off and then turn unlock door on, switching the buttons out. Start that off, uncheck lock door. Inside lock door, set the game object active. In this true one, I'm going to also drag unlock door in. I'm going to set a new game object active, set this to false, and then set itself in here. So when you click lock door, it'll set unlock door active and set lock door to false. And now we should do the same thing in this one. Since this is set to false, I'm just going to drag unlock door inside there, and then go to basic events, add a new one, and then we're going to set true lock door. That way, when you click this one, lock door is set to true, but the other ones are turned off so that you can walk through the doors as well as the buttons there. So in VRChat, we've got the two doors and we got the button. So I can go to this one and I'll teleport over to this side. And if I go to this one, I'll teleport back to this side. And now we have the button here. I can see lock door. I can click it. It switches out to unlock door. I cannot go through the door. And to show the example, I'll go through this side and I also cannot go through on this side. Then if I go back and press it again, door is now unlocked and I can go back through it again. That's all for this tutorial. If you have any questions or suggestions, be sure to put them in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching.